plastic film, and I've been growing funny flowers outside on my little windowsill. Don't you know I'm a 2000 man, and my kids, they just don't understand me at all.
Wait, in 3, 2, 1, action.
It's been said that you were harassing Yvonne on New Year's Eve.
I finally received some good news when I learned that my favorite rock band Kiss had announced a Vancouver date for their tour. It would be on New Year's Eve in 1999. Things had gradually calmed down between Yvonne and me and the ensuing legal cases. My great friend and fellow Kiss Army member, Steve, who also happened to be part of my comedy troupe, bought us both tickets for the concert. I was very excited, and I went over to Steve's house and we painted our faces for the concert. Yvonne and I had plans to go to an after-concert Kiss party at a local club. It was rumored that the band or some of its members might show up. They didn't, and it would only have been 2 of the 4 that might have shown up and made an appearance because 2 of them didn't drink. Yvonne instructed me to call her at her parents' house on the family's home phone around about an hour before the concert ended. At this time, this struck me as odd, especially with all the circumstances prior considered. Yvonne justified it and explained it that her sister Delaney would be using her cell phone. As instructed, I called the family's home phone and her mother answered the phone and I asked, "Is Yvonne there?" Her mother said, "No, Yvonne's not here." I said, "Okay, please tell her that Jason called." I then tried Yvonne on her cell phone and she answered right away and said, "I'm on the way to pick you up." After the concert, I ensured that Steve walked me to meet Yvonne at her car so that I would have yet another witness. Yvonne and I returned quickly to her house. She changed her clothes to fit in with more of the concert party, and I painted her face. I had already gathered a great amount of recorded conversations between Yvonne and I during the claims of stalking and harassment. The New Year's Eve, I did not wear a recording device, but I did take a disposable camera with me to the concert. Fortunately, I took a photo of Yvonne and myself in Kiss makeup on that very New Year's Eve. January would not end as well as it first started. Some other events happened that caused me yet again to find myself in the Batcave, Damon's walk-in closet. Again, Yvonne called me at work. My colleague Allie took the call and Yvonne announced that was in fact her calling. Allie called me on the intercom. "Jason, line 1, Yvonne calling." Why was Yvonne calling me at work? I asked her not to call. Damon was getting pissed off with me because I was using the shop as my legal office, and he asked to keep the phone calls to a minimum. I took the call. Yvonne was in hysterics on the phone, telling me how scared she was and that I must come to her now. She explained that a sexually explicit note was taped to her door. She said that a man, oddly dressed at times, has been standing in or around her parking lot, gazing in her patio window, looking through the patio door. Damon was sick this time, and I, being the assistant manager of the shop, had to deal with the high level of tuxedo returns. From all the New Year's festivities, I told Yvonne to bring me the note left on her door. She did, and I looked at it, and it was a made-for-TV letter. It was queerly written in block letters, some backwards, some forwards, big letters, small letters. It's crazy. It mentioned something about oral sex and that the person was watching her.
Fuck her right in the pussy!
After looking at the letter, Yvonne wanted it back. I said, no, I will keep the letter. and you should call the police." She was not pleased that I kept the letter. I was not going to let this escape my paws. Yvonne calling me at work, Yvonne coming into my shop, Yvonne handing me this note with all my staff present. I would find out later why Yvonne wanted the letter back. As soon as she left, I called the police. I didn't call this Constable Porteous as I was instructed to. I called 911. But the operator said that Yvonne must make the call and report it. I called Yvonne and told her that I had just called the police and that the police advised me that she should make the call. Yvonne told me she would. Later that evening, I met Yvonne and she said she did report it and showed me a case number. I didn't believe it. She called the police, and in fact, the case number was related to an earlier and different incident. The earlier incident later revealed that it was claimed that I was stalking her. She made a huge mistake by giving me that number. The Vancouver police later came to my work soon after and retrieved the sexually explicit note. I subsequently found out through the Freedom of Information Act that there was an implication that I was responsible for the note. I added it all together. I knew why Yvonne so desperately wanted the sexually explicit note back. She wanted my fingerprints on it. But of course, my fingerprints would be on it now that I was in possession of it. When the police came to the shop to collect it, I backfired that crazy bitch's diabolical plan. But the Crown still accepted it as real, and whatever Yvonne was telling them caused me more jeopardy, now being painted as a sexual pervert.